I don't seem to understand what is all the fuss around the economic crisis. We see that throughout history we've suffered from hunger, plagues, economic crises. For instance, the 1920s economic crisis, Great Depression in the U.S. But in the end of the day, things fall into place as shown by history. So what's different today? So today it can happen, it can work out as well. Yes, I know many graphs, many models. Yeah, you're an economist according to your profession. Yeah, so these graphs say even that once in 80 years, everything falls. So why is there a bigger excitement these days? Because the crisis is general, global, international today. It is a blow for the whole world at once, for the general world economy. It's like in the body. You have organs that one of them is sick somewhat, so the other organs help it. You know that when you have a small wound, then right away all kinds of particles and blood comes there in order to create help for the problem with the area. Yes, but this is if the body is healthy, if there's a problem with one area, one focal point. But if there is no point like that, but all of us are like that, this is called collapse of all the systems. So that's a big problem. And that's a big problem, and today we were in a state just like that. So the difference between that and what happened in the past is that today it's a general overall collapse. Yes, in the past it was in America, and Europe and Asia didn't feel it, and vice versa. Of course, everything was healed later. America actually built roads in those years and many infrastructures in the time of the Great Depression. So what are we facing today? Today we're facing the general collapse of all the worldwide system. Because today we're like a global village, like one place. It's one global economy. Today we are as if in one country. With respect to economy, we're all as one, like one market, one factory, one bank. And what are the implications? The implications are that according to this, we should have behaved accordingly. And even though we've reached a state where we are all one, we started behaving as if no one wants to take the other into account. And then it's like in a body. Imagine yourself. The heart is pumping, pounding, but without anything that has to do with the body, what the body needs. The lungs doesn't work with respect to the whole body. The brain, the liver, and so forth. If there is such disorientation and lack of connection between all the systems, and that has to be coordinated and supervised by the mind, by the brain. You know how our lungs work, how everything works in accurate, precise harmony. This is the meaning of health. Health means harmony and interconnection and reciprocity among all the elements. So what is the conclusion with respect to economy? With respect to the man's body, it's obvious, I think. So if we are as one body, in our economy and in all our life on the face of earth, we have to reach the same conduct, the same order of connections between us. Our communications, our connection has to be reciprocal, has to be friendly. We have to take each other into account. One bank, one economy, one supermarket, everything is one. Because we have reached a state where we are interconnected. Even before that crisis, 20 years ago or so, the sociologists started talking about, and people who deal with demographics, philosophers, politicians, they all spoke about the world becoming a global village. What do you mean? Let's take something specific, oil. There are countries that are very rich with oil. So when you're saying one economy, one bank, it means one oil? Yes, everything is one. Everything is one. Oil, gold, money, everything is one, and everything, meaning the economy has to be just. in the meantime, let's put it this way. As much as I benefit, as much as I profit, I deserve it. And the same with other people, but it's all worldwide. There are no boundaries, because today in economy there are no boundaries. There are no dollars or rubles or shekels or euros. What do you need all that? It all detaches us from each other. It's like you have clogs and not good transitions between each and every organ. What you're saying seems very far away. This is what we all want, but they can't overcome their egos. They all, the leaders of the countries come together, and so what? They still don't understand that this thing is necessary. That we are in a body that is dying, and it's cutting its own organs, and it doesn't provide them with what they need. And today this is what happens. Russia yelled before, we blow the whistle on everyone, we will have oil. The oil can cost $400. We don't care. What will you do? You can't do anything to us. We will suck everything from you. We will determine everything in the world. And then but others are no different. So others do it with different things. Yes, that's an example. A moment before there was a crisis in America in the banks, this is what the Russians said. A moment after the crisis in America, they saw that everything's falling in their place either. They didn't understand it. People don't yet understand. Even the great ones, the bankers, the leaders, with their many counselors and politicians and so forth, psychologists, sociologists and so forth, they still don't understand how interconnected we are. That's an example. Look at the foolishness that they spoke from. We will blow the whistle on the whole world, and now they fall deeper than the Americans. So you're seeing the solution as everything becomes one and common. We have no choice. We have reached in human development to a point where we are once again like the small ancient Babylon. We're in a crisis there. What is the crisis about? They call it distrust, lack of fluidity, liquidity. In the end of the day, it's lack of communicating to each other, like the problem of languages in Babylon. So this is the vision, this is the goal, this is what we have to reach. Yes, and this is why I'm saying that nature have brought us to a state where we are global, where we are one body, and the nature around us relates to us in this way, as to one body. It's like the still vegetative animate levels of nature that work according to nature's laws. Hence, they don't go wrong. They're not mistaken. They don't ruin nature. In the same way, we have to exist in human nature, in human society, with respect to the inclusive nature. We have to be integral. We have to be in harmony, in balance with the whole of nature. And the whole of nature in general is one. And one means that there are no differences, not in gender or race or nationality or politics or countries or boundaries. Today we are a global village, one small village. And according to this, we have to sit and think, how do we teach people to behave as one? And like it or not, we will once again have to go back to the law, love thy friend as thyself. It's the general law of the whole of nature. We won't be able to escape it. Today we have reached this necessity in our development.